Used to pretty enjoy that. Really, it's not that I don't like the industry and I came here. I used to enjoy that.
Thanks for tuning into D-Education. So this is a platform where I bring designers from different aspects to talk about the design journey and how design education has shaped them into better designers. On this episode, we have Madhvi with us. Hi Madhvi, welcome to D-Education.
Hi Tej. Hi.
So Madhvi, how was your day?
It was pretty good. So far, so good. It is raining here in this part of Kerala. And actually, we all are sitting inside the house because it's lockdown here.
That's wonderful, Madhvi. So what was your journey into design? And if you could talk about yourself to our viewers out there.
Journey into design as such, like it started 2 years back exactly. It was because my previous life, I was a dentist actually. Then I was preparing for my NEET entrance exams for 2 years. Then after I cleared the first round of my NEET also, then somewhere it was like it's not my cup of tea. Then suddenly my brother, he was also pursuing his BDes in NID. Paldi, and he suggested me there is a master's program in NID which can be pursued by any graduate students from any background. We said just give it a try. So then initially I had my blogs, but still I just gave it a try along with my other entrance. And my first specialization was ceramics. Then first I cleared ceramics, but I lost an interview. Then it was the interview panel directed me towards toy and game design because they said like all my exhibits which I showed them had a tinge of play in it. So they said like what about you trying to toy and game design because that would be more your sort of area. So second time again I didn't leave ceramics. Second time also I applied for toy and game as well as ceramics, and I cleared for prelims for both, and I got through toy and game design. I think they were right. That was my area.
That's wonderful, Madhvi. So, what made you change from being a dentist to again, living a second life of designer? It's really inspirational that after seeing one field completely, then you have decided to change your step. So, what has motivated you to do this?
Question. So if at all I'm explaining that factor, I have to remove my tag of being a dentist. I have to shift to more into being a mother because um, I voluntarily took a break from my profession for 4 years to bring up my child. My son is right now about to be 5 years old. So during that period, I was totally dedicating my time to him, with him actually. So what I did was like we made toys. I tried to engage him in my own ways, and it came out pretty well. So that added to my portfolio as such. Like for toy and game, I didn't actually make a portfolio separately. I just took whatever I made for my son and put it in. So that was my journey to this toy and game design from dentistry. But I could actually imbibe certain things from dentistry because I used to love what is it, the art part of dentistry, like making stuff, playing with materials, and I used to pretty enjoy that. Really, it's not that I don't like dentistry and I came here. I used to enjoy that, so I just took that enjoyment part to this. Just a path deviation, not like two entirely different paths.
That's really wonderful, Madhvi. And also the great point that you mentioned that you got inspired from the different dentistry activities that you did and have came back to design and still continue to learnings and teachings. So if you could help with us, what was your exam preparation for toy and game design and what all interview processes and how was it so that the young viewers could get inspired from?
So basically, my preparation is very much unique to me. Like I wouldn't suggest anybody to exactly stick on to my, because I had certain restrictions, so-called restrictions, I would say, because I had time limitations. So whatever I had time, I had to manage my preparation into it. So basically, my few policies were like I kept things open. Like studies shouldn't happen through coaching or textbooks alone. So whatever I heard, whatever shows I watched, or whatever books I read, I just took things from there and just made a small research on it. Like if at all to mention, I used to see the Abstract documentary on Netflix. That's like the gold standard for every preparation. Like that's not something you must take notes of it. It just opens up your views, like to every what's a design thought, it just opens up you into the design thought. Then then I read one novel by Dan Brown, that was The Origin. So there was like his novels always have this factual things, like if you google upon those words, you just get that on the net. So when I was reading that Origin, I came across a lot of modern museums, works, etc. Then I wrote it down and I Googled on. And luck factor, what played there was like few questions I could relate to that. Then so the other documentaries and whatever we used to like come across, I just kept open to it. And obviously there was this Silica Institute. I used to follow their Instagram page. So in that there was like one day a question. So for me, that wasn't a lot of time for like I couldn't work more than that. So what I did was like I used to do anyway. I used to do one or two questions, and obviously my sketching skills was very bad. If I rated to 0 to 5, it was like 2 or maybe 1. So what I did, like I kept on, somebody had suggested me to just keep on drawing circles and lines. So that's one thing which I practiced, and then kept my thoughts very simple. Like whatever I saw around, it was nothing complex which we used. So design was always simplifying things, I felt. Like if at all it's a toy, Jenga, you know, right? The toy Jenga is like a amazing a toy, I should say, because it's a basic, the basic shape we can see, and with that the potential it keeps in front of us is amazing. So that was also another inspiring thought to me. So that taught me like keep everything simple. So for my exam also, the questions, uh, I attended it in that perspective, because I enjoyed my exam. I loved my drawing game exam, and my products, my answers to it were just simple. Like anybody, I felt like when I came from my exam, I was like, "Arey, anybody could attend it." It's like even my 5-year-old kid could attend. That simple it was. So basically, I think these were the key elements which took me to NID, I guess. So that was my preparation.
That's really wonderful, Madhvi. So if you could give us some insights on what exactly is toy and game design as you are pursuing it right now. So what are the basic insights that you could tell us?
Uh, Toy and game, I think the word might be a bit misleading. Like we are not totally into toy. We're actually like toy. We have a concept in mind. Like these are the toys, but the real element of toy is a play. Everything has a play. Like if you fidget with a pen, that can be your toy at your moment. So I feel, or my mentors have said that they are play experience designers than the toy and game designers. It's like more apt to call as the play experience design, because what we basically do is find the play element of whatever possible. Like it's not restricted to kids. Like we are doing our projects based now, we can see we are like upgrading our levels. Like every individual at every age, every stage of their life loves toys. That might differ, or else, or some factors might even hinder them from actually fidgeting the toy, yet they might be liking it. So it's not basically what we are making toys alone in the department. They're just identifying the play element. And obviously toys are products of our experiments. And also there are a digital part to it that comes later, but moreover we are just focusing on inventing the play element with materials, obviously, like different materials we are exposed to. Like we can experiment with any materials around. That's the fun of toy and game department. We won't be restricted.
That's really wonderful, Madhvi. a subject like toy and game design, which is a more of a hands-on experience, doing it online, how was your experience?
My NID started from 2020, and that was a COVID time. And currently I am in my second semester. And since my first semester, we have been having an online sessions going on. And Gandhinagar, like that's where the toy and game design is happening in NID. There we had a chance, the first just had a chance to visit just for 1.5 months to the campus. That was, we were lucky enough for that. But still, talking about the online education, it had their problems. I shouldn't say that was totally glitch free, as like everybody are facing. We are also facing certain problems like screen time. But as far as I was concerned, an ID education is a process. It's like, for me, it was an experience that actually changed my perspectives from the person which I have been in the starting of the semester to now. There has been a lot of change. So I shouldn't be saying that the online experience was totally ineffective. But yes, we might have our shortcomings, like hands-on experiences we lack, and machinery experiences we lack. Exactly, we do. But we are going through a process from NID, like the way they teach, the courses which we are exposed to are very different from which I have been educated in my previous dental education system. It's like very open. It's not that they teach you something, it's that they guide us through a certain path, that we come out as another person of ourselves, like maybe a better version of ourselves. So it was a process. So I don't know whether they had compromised in that aspect of an online education, through an online education. But I shouldn't say that it's not like not losing anything. But yes, position to say whether it was a waste or not. But yes, NID is giving a different perspective to me in this arena. I should say that.
Thank you, Madhvi. So let's talk about the fees and the alumni network, and what kind of interaction till now in these 2 semesters you had with your seniors.
Okay, the fees, basically we have 5 semesters, and the fees per sem is 1.75 lakhs. And with alumni connection, actually it's not as much as like we would have it on campus, because we are offline. I mean, like we are running on online, but still we used to connect with our seniors. But like all everybody are fed up of online, and calling them for another mate, that too online, is actually stressful, because our curriculum is not that loose, it's a bit tight knit. So the time management problems everybody do face. So connecting to alumni also, that too we tried, but it was not just as successful as we expected. But yes, we can, but they are always ready to connect. Like if you individually go and talk to them, they're always connected, because we have a WhatsApp group since the starting of the TGD. So that's pretty amazing group, like we have a large collection. So they're always open to us, including faculties as well as the seniors.
That's really wonderful, Madhvi. And the WhatsApp group thing is a very useful network, I'd say, like for anyone who want to approach the alumni. And that's a great insight that you have given us. So let's talk about in terms of your current class size, and how is your current experience with all these different teachings, and if you could share some insights on that.
Our class comprises of 9 people, because TGD, I think intake is only 12. Unlike the other departments which have 19, for TGD that is 12. And now we are 9 of us, and our seniors were 7, I guess. Now we are 9, and we are also from very diverse like backgrounds. So that makes it very useful in a way, because I think we were very carefully selected, that NID hasn't selected us like individuals. It's not like I got selected or she got selected. It was like we were selected as a group. I heard that happens usually in NID, like a batch is being selected. Like we will be mutually helpful. We have one person from mechatronics, we have one person from engineering, we have one person from chemical engineering, we have people from even design background. We have 3 people from design background. So we are a well group of people. I like to call it as a fam, because for me, I had many insecurities when I came to this TGD, because when I measured my skill set, my experience, everything was very low. But when I met these people, they never intimidated me. They always were helping. They were like, even though it is online, even though they are very tired, they're always ready. Even at 1:30, we could call up somebody and ask, like, okay, this line is not coming proper. They'll be, okay, come on Zoom, I'll just teach you. So it's like a family.
That's so lovely to hear, Madhvi. So let's end this show by few insights that you would love to share to a TGD preparation guy.
So basically, preparation, I don't know, like we will have a studio test this year or not, because there are 3 steps for exam. Like first is the preliminary exam. Then we have our studio and interview along with the portfolio. So when we talk about the preparation, now there is stream specific exams, discipline specific exams. Um, then we have our interview. Last time, I think for us it was on campus, because we were the lucky batch to be the only batch to be on campus to give our studio test as well as interview online. So for for interview, basically they see our portfolio. So to be frank about portfolio, it is nothing you need to make it unique or attractive or anything. For me, I should say that you should be the portfolio. The portfolio should speak for yourself. When you open up, it should be you. So you should like those people who come and sit and interview us also know they are very experienced people. So they just know that you have fabricated the portfolio, or like, is it very genuine? They know it, like by default they know it. So for me, I had a very handmade, very raw portfolio, and all the pictures which I kept in was like casually clicked pictures of the toys which I used to make. And I couldn't click pictures now because it was in a very dirty condition. So those were my things. And I didn't have any high, like very intellectual toys or anything. It was very basic stuffed toys. Like I used to make some stuffed toys with old bunions, all dresses and all. So it was that my portfolio was that. And and they everybody loved the simplest of the simplest toy which I made. So um, so they're just thinking our attitude about their aptitude towards it, playfulness. They're not actually picking someone which is very unique or very talented or anything. So that's what when comes to portfolio from my side. Then for even studio, if at all you have a studio test, all the it's just another play. So they'll give us materials, we have to make something. So when you make something, you have to enjoy that. I know that is a very cliche thing, enjoy whatever you, but here it's like you play with it and you come up with whatever it is that will reveal what is your aptitude. That's for sure. You needn't think, okay, I am in an exam, I have to make something like this. Nothing. You just go for it, and you can see it coming out of that material which speaks for you. That was the studio test. And interview also, just be casual and speak from your heart, like just talk to them, because they are also basically, they are TGD is the lightest department. I know, like I don't know whether I am coming from TGD, I feel so, but it's basically being playful there. So you needn't jump around and like make jokes or anything, but just be calm and just show your playful attitude to them. Like your visions of your life, all that matters. Like how do you take your life, all that matters, I guess. That's how I presented myself. So that's about TGD, I feel. So basically, that's playfulness is that all what you need to be in TGD. Like if the age doesn't matter, nothing matters actually, I feel, because I am a mother. I'm quite aged for that, and I have a son. If I what took me to TGD is, I think, my playful attitude, or that's an attitude towards life. So if you feel you want to do TGD, just discover the playfulness. That's what I feel.
Thank you, Madhvi, for sharing all these wonderful insights with us. We are looking forward to host you again in our upcoming show. And also, viewers, if you have any doubts in terms of TGD, feel free to reach out to Madhvi on her mail, LinkedIn, or Instagram, wherever you are comfortable with. Madhvi is looking forward to helping you guys out there. So thanks for your time once again, Madhvi.
Wonderful opportunity, and thank you, Tej, for this. And I would like more people to come into TGT because this is a fun way to live your life. Seriously.